Yo, what's up? My name's Patrouski, and if you're like me, you might play a little bit of video games. You know, a lot of you guys might not know this because it's something I actually never mentioned, but I actually have over 10,000 hours in PokeMMO. Can you believe that? It's not something I talk about very often. Now, that's because I love this game and I love making progress in this game. However, life is all about balance. And over the past 2 years or so, I've grown a lot in my career, and as a content creator, I've gotten married, and I've also put on a lot of happy relationship weight. Now, I'm at a point in my life where I'm not trying to be the healthiest, strongest man out there, but I am trying to live a very, very long and happy life with my wife, so I want to get my heart health under control. Seasonal depression has been hitting me decently hard, and my step count right now is, pathetic, to put it nicely. So, for the combination of my physical health and my mental health, welcome to the PokeMMO Touch Grass Initiative, where I myself will be creating a new account showing you guys how to play PokeMMO as a new player and what progress you should get through, while also limiting my playtime and limiting that progress to how many steps I do. And I challenge you guys to do the same if you want to make a change in your life, at least for a short period of time. Alright, so first things first, we need to go ahead and create the account. Here is Patrouski Walks, and as tradition, I make my character bald for increased in-game speed. But now, I need to log out, because I actually haven't unlocked the ability to play the account. You see, the challenge of this account is that I can only play if I walk, if I touch grass, if I go outside. And the transaction is going to be every 2,000 steps that I get will allow me to make 1 hour of progress on the account. I came to this number because after extensive research, 2,000 steps seems to be about a mile. And I'm going to try to achieve all of these things in-game under this restriction. I'm going to try to complete at least one region, ideally Unova. I'm going to go ahead and start in that region, get myself a Catchin Smeargle, a Catchin Breloom, a Gym Rerun team, a Contrary Spindit to help me catch all wild alpha Pokemon, as well as an HM Dragonite. And then my IRL goals for the challenge are going to try to be to stay above 5,000 steps a day. I know that sounds really easy to a lot of you guys, but I'm a big guy, number one. And number two, I live just a really sedentary lifestyle that I feel like is becoming really normalized. And it's just the truth of the society that we live in. So a lot of us, like myself, it's a privilege. You know, it's a privilege that I don't have to walk this much, but I have to kind of get out of my comfort zone. I have to physically go outside and go on a walk if I want to get my steps in. Otherwise, I'll just end up with like 300 steps in a day, which is horrible. I would love to also get a 50,000 step week. That would be a really cool milestone. Which, once again, I know a lot of this might seem really easy to you guys, but it's kind of tough for me, and I think it would be a really good starting point for me to work on my health. I know when it comes to health, a lot of people want to give advice and feedback and all these things, and I appreciate it, but to be honest with you, I'm just trying to do a simple thing here. I don't really want to change anything. I'm just here to have fun and do what I want to do, work on my health, and play video games all at the same time, while hopefully providing some mildly entertaining content along the way. And as a nice little extra spice to the challenge, I am creating this account and doing this challenge in November of 2025. So, it's going to be pretty cold outside. There have been days recently where it's been 39 degrees outside. So that's just going to be part of the challenge.
All right, we are on walk number one. The hardest part about this challenge is probably going to be getting used to talking on camera in public. That shit feels weird as hell, even though I do it all day. You know, in front of a camera, in front of a video game. Hopefully nobody walks by me while we do this, but I had to walk about 1,000 steps to build up the courage to even turn on the camera. But we're out here, boys. We're getting our first walk in. We're gonna get a little bit healthier. I wanna get my heart health a bit better so I can play more video games. All right, I'll see you guys soon. It is 45 degrees out and cloudy as we're doing this walk. I'm rocking the shorts and short sleeves. I've always run a bit warm, so the cool air feels nice to me. A lot of people are looking like I'm a psycho, but, you know, living my life. All right, I've officially done the first 2,500. That is 1 hour of gameplay. I'm feeling really good. I'd love to get to 7,500 on the first day, and that'll allow me to put in 3 hours and work on that Unova storyline. I did also previously forget to mention 2 rules of the challenge. So 2 big rules are, if I don't use the hours within that day, they disappear. They don't carry over to the next day. So I can't like walk 10,000 steps, say, you know, for like 5 days, queue all those hours and play it. Have to walk and play within the same day. As well as, if I don't walk 5,000 steps in that day, I don't get to play at all.
Man, trying to go for 7,500 steps day one was either brave or stupid, and probably the latter. But that's okay, we got it done. And as you can see, it actually says on my little pedometer, you can see how terrible, how inactive I've been, how physically unhealthy I've been recently. That's why I'm doing this challenge on the earlier steps. But you can see my pedometer says I walked 4.8 miles, yet 7,800 steps. I'm not sure I don't know what calculations. I've always felt like my steps were off during walks. I'm not going to stress about it too much or worry about it too much. Worst case scenario, I get some extra miles in. Oh no. But man, the time it took to get these steps in was the crazy thing. I always hear people complain about, you know, time when it comes to exercise. And I mean, as a, you know, overweight person myself, I always think to myself, you know, you can do 20-minute workouts. Like I don't like to use that as an excuse personally, but going on a walk like this took like an hour and a half, and I'm a fast walker. So that's why I'm also checking, like, how am I only getting this many steps in that amount of time? I was outside for an hour and a half walking. That's a long time, bro. Most people don't have enough time to come home from work and walk an hour and a half to get their cardio in. But obviously there are other options. You could hop on a treadmill, you could run, you could go to local gyms, you could row. I'm a big fan of rowing. That gets really, you know, intense cardio very, very quickly. But for the sake of this challenge, we're going to stick to this walking centric based challenge and just talk about the positives and negatives and the ups and downs of if you wanted to do something similar. There is also something just very beautiful and very human in being in the environment, being in your local environment as well. I saw a guy, a 70-year-old man, smoking a cigar on a park bench at 12 p.m. on a Thursday. That's what life's all about, man. Having those little human interactions really reminds you, you know, why we're here, and it gets you off the internet from being turbo online, which is something I feel like a lot of the PokeMMO community has been experiencing recently, myself included. I do want to mention that I do feel a lot happier and better emotionally. I woke up today and I was sluggish and I was feeling like shit. I hopped in the shower, I went for a walk, I come back, I feel a lot better. That may not work every time or work for you guys personally, and everybody's different, but for me, sometimes, I know it's dumb, but you do got to go take that walk and see if that's what's going to fix your mental for that day. Also, I just realized I'm a goofball who forgot the rules to my own challenge. It's 2,000 steps equals 1 hour of playtime, not 2,500. I'm going to go skedaddle around my apartment, get 200 more steps, and have 4 hours to do today. All right, there we go. That's much better. Let's jump into some PokeMMO action. Alrighty, and now for the most important part of the PokeMMO Touch Grass initiative. It's to touch grass within the game itself. Let's go ahead and start our 4-hour timer for today. Get started and hop onto our account for the very first time. I plan to be picking Tepid as my starter Pokemon because this is a main account challenge, so I can actually trade and access the GTL and just buy any powerful Pokemon that I need off the GTL once we get to that point. So Tepid is actually really good for speeding through the first 4 badges of Unova. If you want the best, in my opinion, starter, I'm a big fan of Samurott, or I'm actually not a fan of the Pokemon, but statistically and I think pragmatically, it ends up being the most effective Pokemon in the storyline run. But once again, if you are speedrunning and just trying to rush to get like a Gyarados or buy a Crocodile or buy something off the GTL to help you really speed run through the story, I'm going to rock with my main pig, Tepid. Our in-game goals are listed over on the right side once again. I'm just going to be focusing on getting 1 region done today. Can I really beat an entire region within 4 hours of gameplay? I don't think so. I'm really bad at storylines, but we'll see how far I can get. So our rivals pick their Pokemon. We're going to go ahead and beat them up. First up is Snivy. We're going to go ahead and tackle his ass. And the green snake in the grass has been defeated. And our first Pokeyen is 380. Next up is Oshawott. You do want to Tail Whip first against this Pokemon, and then you can just tackle afterwards. And it should increase your win percentage. Not that you need to win these first fights, but there we go. Level 6 on our Tepig, 760 Pokeyen. And that took us about a little bit over 3 minutes. We're not even at the professor's lab yet. We gain control of our character for the first time, and off we go. We don't have our running shoes yet, although we do get them pretty early on in the Unova storyline. All right, now we leave our house for the first time as a 10-year-old. We head over to the professor's lab as soon as we can move our character. Beautiful. Let's rush over here. Every single second matters. Just kidding. My storyline skill gap is already coming into play. We actually need to head over to Bianca's house. Don't worry, this will not be a storyline guide. I have one of those up on my channel. I just want to show you guys through some of these first moments. All right, and we ate up about 6 minutes of time before we could even leave the first town so far. But our adventure is finally about to begin. We get our first Pokeballs, 5 Pokeballs. That'll be huge. We will need to catch some good Pokemon for the storyline runs. I do want to speed through things as much as possible and end up just buying a bunch of good Pokemon off the GTL. But Unova can be a tough region to start in just at the very start unless you plan around it properly. The first gym is going to hard counter you, where the first gym leader will switch out its typing based on which starter you pick. There is a way to get around this, though, that many people may not realize or forget about. I'm going to go ahead and lose the challenge where we compare who caught the most Pokemon, because I don't really need to do that right now. That would be a waste of time, and there's no actual benefit from winning the challenge. And now we enter Accumula Town to get some of the best music in all of Pokemon. We learn about gain access to the Poke Center as well as our PC. Now, this is actually a very important part because there's a big speech going on over here. However, after the speech is over, you will have to fight N. And if you lose the fight, you will have to listen to the speech all over again. So I actually do want to go do some wild battles and potentially catch some new Pokemon so I can make sure that I can defeat N. That is a huge, annoying time loss to have to redo the entire speech and then the fight. So we're going to use one of our new 5 Pokeballs to hopefully catch this level 4 Patrat. We miss on the first ball. Unfortunately, it breaks out. These 5 beginner Pokeballs, as well as all of our Pokeyen at this point, pretty darn valuable because the point of this challenge is to save our Pokeyen so we can buy things off the GTL and progress a new main account. But there is the Patrouski catch, thankfully, after 2 Pokeballs, not too shabby. Love to see like an adamant nature here. Modest is the worst case scenario, but that's okay. We can still make it work somehow. And potentially catch it back up really quick. Lillipup, a much more powerful Pokemon than Patrat. It could eventually evolve into Stoutland, which can actually do some work in the storyline. Once again, I'd really like to avoid having to catch my storyline Pokemon, but you can't start buying Pokemon until the 4th gym badge, so you have to kind of catch some and get some sort of ragtag team together. But it is much better to buy Pokemon off the GTL if you're not like an Ironman account or some sort of restricted account, because you can buy the perfect Pokemon you need for pretty darn cheap these days, whereas trying to catch a perfect, decently statted Pokemon for the storyline is much rarer and would take much more time. But there is that Lillipup catch. Let's go check the stats. Careful Nature. Ooh, 25 plus in like 4 of the 5 stats that it needs. It's Careful Nature. That's fine. It minus this attack, which is relevant and gives a little bit more bulk. That could be a very relevant Pokemon in the future. It's important to note that you also do get XP while you catch Pokemon in PokeMMO, which I believe wasn't a mechanic introduced until Generation 6, but it's a really important thing to keep in mind for new PokeMMO players. Catching Pokemon still earns you XP on your lead Pokemon. Whereas back in the day, you would have to decide, do I want to catch this Pokemon or do I want to kill it for that extra XP? That was a tough decision to make back in the day. I'm going to spend a few more minutes just going ahead at XP training here. I'm going to stop catching Pokemon since I'm down to my last Pokeball, but I don't want to waste too much time on XP training in the wild because, especially during the storyline run, XP training on trainer battles is much more efficient. You actually gain something called a trainer XP boost in PokeMMO when you defeat trainers Pokemon versus wild Pokemon, which means you actually gain more XP from defeating trainer Pokemon than wild Pokemon. So you want to train on wild Pokemon as little as possible, as it tends to be inefficient, but sometimes you got to get that extra XP to make things a bit safer. There's that level 8 on our Tepig. I'll take that as a good sign to go ahead and fight N. All right, on to the speech in the end fight. Watch my timer here as well. We're starting this speech at 3:45:33. And the speech is coming to a close, but N hasn't even approached me yet. This is going to be about a minute of time eaten up just by this speech. Maybe a little bit more. Let's see. Yeah, it was at 33, remember. Now we're at 38 on our timer. It's going to end up being about a minute, maybe a little bit over a minute. You talk too fast, said someone, either my character or N's character. That was funny. Anyways, let's go ahead and take care of this fight. Once again, losing this fight could set me back an extra, I was about a minute and 10 seconds. I'm about to lose an extra 2 minutes or so if I lose this fight. Level 5 Purloin, thankfully, pretty low level. He has 2 Pokemon. I think one of them might be Zorua as well, so this might be disguising itself as a Zorua. Gonna go for that stab Ember damage. Ember's gonna get 1.5 times damage since Tepig is fire type, using a fire type attack. And yes, there is that Zorua as expected. We got a burn on it, which will reduce its physical damage. If it wants to go for those scratches, those tackles, that's actually an extremely relevant burn. And then down goes Zorua. I use Tackle there just to preserve Ember PP out of sort of habit. There's not really a reason to do that since the Ember PP is still so high. But you know what? We gotta make those little micro decisions where we can. Ember onto the Purloin. Our Tepig's about half HP. This fight is looking good. And already down goes Purloin, and this is the first town, for I guess second town if you want to call it that, already taken care of. We're going to heal up, get out of here, and head to the left. We do not care about Endure as a move on our Tepig. Not a very powerful storyline move unless you have some sort of combo with it. All right, as we head on to this next route, keep in mind, it is really important to go ahead and fight every single trainer here. Even though that we are on a time crunch, we still need a relevant level of XP, amount of XP. So we don't want to skip any of these trainers. We do want to manually go and make sure we fight all of them. I feel like in most traditional Pokemon games, the speedruns, the strategy is to skip as many trainers as possible. That is not the case in PokeMMO. We do get our running shoes there as well, which is huge. And here is our first trainer fight, for example, who gets easily dispatched by our Tepig. Up to level 10 goes our Pig. You can only overlevel so much in Pokemon since you do have something called the max obedience level, so you can't get anything above level 20, and then once you get more gym badges, you unlock more levels. I always forget whether this guy you can actually like go ahead and fight or not. I don't think so. He just shows you how to jump over these little ledges, but once again, I want to interact with every trainer possible just in case that I can fight them. It might cost me a little bit of time, but it's worth it to gain that extra XP, like manually running into this trainer on purpose. Another trainer we are purposefully running into and not avoiding, and our cash stack is already up to over 1,000 Pokeyen by purposefully doing this. Even at the start of a PokeMMO storyline, I think it's really important to have every decision be very intentional, and it will pay off dividends in the future. PokeMMO storylines are not easy for a lot of people, but if you make the right calls and learn it over time, it definitely becomes easier. It is a skill gap, and it's a tough one. I struggled a ton when I was newer or coming back to PokeMMO, doing a lot of these storylines for the first time. We're going to head off the beaten path and go grab these free potions over here really quick as well. I believe we might have a rival fight as well up here in a quick sec, so I'm going to go ahead and heal preemptively just in case that's what you get triggered here. I believe so. Once again, I am no storyline expert, but I have some basic memory because I've done these things so many times. Alright, and this should be beyond good defeated. Our Tepig up to level 12 already, getting all that XP on him early on. On to the next city we go, over to Striation City. The first gym is in here. I'm going to go heal up really quick and head over to Sharon over in the school zone really quick. We have to fight him first inside here in the school before we continue on to the gym leader and other parts of the story. Now, there is a free elemental monkey we can actually grab near/in this city, and I wonder if I should have gotten it right now before this fight. Unfortunately, I didn't think about that. That might lose me a little bit of time. We do see a water gun come out from this Oshawott as well. I'm going to try to switch to some of my Pokemon in the back and get off some free Leers or Tail Whips to hopefully weaken this thing to then bring my Tepig in and get some tackles off. But I might lose this fight. I mean, this is once again a PokeMMO expert, 10,000 hours losing a storyline fight. Omega Lol Tech W. This is what happens when you just aren't prepared and try to speed through things. Sometimes things like this still happen. Yeah, and there goes the Patrat. This is probably going to be a wipe. All right, GG's Sharon, you fucking nerd. Let's go grab our elemental monkey. So if you don't know, you can actually head over to the east of Striation City, make it over to like the little dream area, I believe, the dream yard. And there's an NPC over here who will actually give you an elemental monkey for free. And also, we get more free trainer XP. I'll take it. All right, so this NPC all the way over to the east in the dream yard right here, you can talk to them and they'll give you, look at this, a Pansage to help counter. This will be important for defeating Sharon as well as important for defeating the gym leader themselves. It is a storyline Pokemon, a gift Pokemon, so it does have 15 IVs and then neutral nature, which is not ideal, but you know what? It works. Now let's go heal up and try to take on Sharon one more time with our new Pokemon. And then later on in Castelia City, there will also be an NPC who will give you a free elemental stone to evolve your Pokemon in correlation to which one you pick. So we can actually continue to upgrade this Mon alongside our storyline. And we're just going to straight lead this Pokemon into Sharon. If he does not lead his Oshawott, we will switch it out, sacrifice switch over like a Lillipup, but we're hoping to just catch him on a Vine Whip. Yeah, there is the Purloin lead to switch things up. So I'm actually going to go ahead and switch out to like my Tepig or a Lillipup because I'd rather keep my Pansage healthy here. That's more important to me. I can kill this Purloin in a ton of ways, but I can only beat his Oshawott with my Pansage. And he's going to immediately make that switch to counter my exact situation. So we still get a free Ember off on the Oshawott. We have Burn Chance here. We could have gone for a potential Tail Whip predicting that. But now I have plenty of Pokemon. I can just sacrifice, which is something you'll see me do a ton in the storyline. And something I recommend a lot to new players. Do not be afraid to sacrifice, which is switch it to a Pokemon just to let it die, just to switch in a better matchup. And then now, if he wants to go Purloin, he kind of can. I can just go ahead and like, get really good damage with a Vine Whip here. Or if he stays in like this, trainers don't want to switch around a ton. He's going to take massive damage, 65% from the Vine Whip there, use up his Oran Berry, and now we can go ahead and sweep the rest of his team with this Vine Whip. Perfect. Look at the difference. Look at the difference between me prior to the Elemental Monkey versus post the Elemental Monkey. I am not a big fan of the Elemental Monkeys. I think design-wise, they look a little, you know, yucky. They're not for me, but damn, I cannot recommend go pick up the free one at the beginning of the storyline over here in Striation City. There is Sharon defeated. I'm going to go heal up and just go try to take on the gym leader, I think, immediately. I might not be ready yet, but I'll try my best. We'll put some Oran Berries on our Pokemon as well. All right, we are now inside the gym and working towards the leader. Inviting every single trainer along the way to level up our Pansage and get some free XP. Down goes the Lillipup and up goes some XP on our Pansage. We did use one of our Oran Berries there. I probably should have actually kept it off of the Pokemon for these fights and just use potions outside of the battle instead. I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Quick little tip once again for early game in the storyline runs. Purloin is a Pokemon that almost always uses Fake Out, so I know that I can freely switch over to a Pokemon here, sacrifice switch, get maybe some heals off of my Pansage or things like that, and just tank this Fake Out. I could have also got my Tepig here, maybe gotten off some free damage. Playing around Fake Outs from the AI is one of the most powerful ways to get ahead in some of these fights. All right, and there is the next trainer defeated. I didn't get as much XP on my Pansage as I would like, but we still got up to level 11 in that fight. And we did just, I believe, use up another one of our Oran Berries, so I'm kind of wasting my Oran Berries, unfortunately. They're still gaining us progress. I don't want to say wasting them like that. Now, I'm going to go ahead and open up this final curtain in this gym, and then I'm going to head back to the PC and heal up really quick. I think it's worth to heal up really quick before we take on the leader, even though it costs us a little bit of that precious time. It would cost us a lot more time if we lost to the leader because we greedily didn't heal. I also cannot recommend enough if you are a new PokeMMO player to turn on battle damage percents to always. You can see, even during these like very early on storyline fights, you can see the exact percentages, which in my opinion really matters and really helps a lot of your decision making in Pokemon. So if you go to your settings and then go over to interface, you can go to show battle damage percents and turn this on to always. By default, it's only on during PvP, which in my opinion is a grave mistake these days in PokeMMO when we have things like raids and really important PvM, where seeing that percentage damage really matters. But here we are on our first gym badge, about 37 minutes in it took us to get to this. That's all the yapping and dialogue of the Unova storyline. I feel like I've been moving pretty quick as well, so it's a rough reality. But here we go, our first ever gym fight on the challenge at exactly 4,000 Pokeyen. Panpour is the lead, so we see a water monkey. We're going to use our grass monkey to counter it. It might go for a switch here. If it does, we can go ahead and switch afterwards, but I'm not going to risk it. I'd rather just click Vine Whip now. If he wants to switch in response, awesome. If not, we just get off some fat damage here just like that. So we still click the safe option, even though you could over-predict a switch there, but it's just not worth it against the AI, in my personal opinion, unless there's things like fake out. You know, there's certain things you can pretty easily predict like every single time, but not in that situation. This is looking like a super easy fight. Once again, with this elemental monkey, this fight is a cakewalk. Without, it would be a nightmare. Our monkey is going to go down here because of a crit, but that's totally okay. Our Tepid can come back and clean up this Lilliput. All right, and that's our first gym badge just like that. That fight was an absolute cakewalk because we prepared just enough to make it so. Our first gym badge on the challenge. Our max obedience level goes up to level 24, which is very relevant, and we do get a free TM. We still have 0 total hours played on our account as well, which is nice. Except as we leave the gym, we're going to get stopped by a specific little NPC who's going to talk to us about the dream stuff. We're going to have to head over to the dream yard for a quick sec for a little side quest. We do also get the HM cut here, which is extremely relevant. We're going to immediately teach that to one of our weaker Pokemon. We don't need to put it on our Pansage or one of the mons we'll be using for most of the storyline, as there's not really a reason to. We can always have an HM Pokemon in our party. If we need to teach it to them later, we can do so for free. All right, but next up with cut access, you want to head over to the east, go over to the Dream Yard, and I'm going to go switch to my Tepid because from this point forward, the next gym, I believe the Castelia City gym, or excuse me, I guess next up is Nimbasa, or Nacrene. Nacrene City is going to be a normal type gym leader, if I recall correctly, and then Castelia is going to be a bug type. So I want to get my fire type nice and leveled up. He should be able to take on the next two gyms. And then Nimbasa, which is up here in the future, that's going to be an electric type gym. That's going to be our last big milestone before we can access the GTL. And once we get that done, everything will be so much easier. But the side quest is mostly just a ton of dialogue and protecting a Muna from some Team Plasma members. And now we pick up Flame Charge as a really relevant move over on our Emboar. I'm probably going to put that over Odor Sleuth, so we'll actually have a physical fire move and a special one. That might not come up, it might not matter in this early part of the storyline run, but it's better to get rid of Odor Sleuth than just place our Flame Charge over our Ember. Ember still gives us a 10% burn chance, which can be relevant, whereas our Flame Charge is going to boost our speed, I believe, usually by a stage whenever we use it. And that's going to be one of the most important moves on Pignite and Emboar and all the evolutions from this point forward. The biggest problem with Emboar, I don't love it for the most of the storyline, is that it's really slow. It's a very slow Pokemon in comparison to the other starters, and you have to start off every single fight with a Flame Charge to keep up speed-wise. But we save the moon, head back to the lab for a quick sec, heal up really quick, and then head east over on to Route 3 in about 45 minutes of total gameplay. There will be tons more trainers to fight over here, as well as a Sharon fight after I pass these two fellas in a quick sec. And I believe there's also some trainers we can actually head up here and fight over in the little playground area. Want to take advantage of that free XP. Level 16 on our Tepig, that might trigger an evolution. I always forget the exact level. It's level 17 for the big pig. And we should be able to get that really quick by just manually triggering this fight. Or we're getting some good XP on our Pokemon, but our Tepig is not quite at the big pig zone. I'm actually going to go abuse the fact that we should be able to head inside the daycare, I believe, and go heal up. Yes, if you don't know, you can go interact with the PC, plop your Pokemon in it, plop it back out, and now it's full HP. So you don't need to always be at a daycare to heal your Pokemon in PokeMMO. You can put them in the PC, pull them back out, and then bam, boom, you're good to keep grinding. That would have taken me a lot more time if I headed all the way back to the town to gain those, those HP back to keep getting this XP. And just to show you how severe the XP bonus is from trainers, I got 109 base XP from that fight and then a 55 trainer battle bonus. It is literally like a 50% XP boost. That is huge. Then next up is our little Sharon rival fight, and this should get my Pignite evolution. All right, and that's the Sharon fight taken care of. And this should be the big pig evolution. Call me a piddly wiggly worker because I am big on the pig. Shout out to all the 5 people out there who got that reference. Look at this stance. I mean, he's just got a power stance going on. This guy's getting his steps in. Pignite definitely gets in his 7,500 steps a day. And we do get access to a fighting type move. I'm going to go ahead and put that over. Ooh, Tail Whip or Tackle is a good question. This might be the situation where I go ahead and put it over Ember. Do I ever need the normal type? I'm going to go it here. Don't want to waste too much time. It's a pretty like minuscule decision, but things like that can pop up. We're about an hour in now, and the storyline continues. We gotta go rescue this Pokemon for this little girl. It was stolen by some Team Plasma members. We probably should have actually, yeah, we're gonna go heal up first really quick, heading back over to that PC. Ignite does pick up that secondary typing on that fighting type, so we get stab, arm thrusts into all these normal type Pokemon coming in clutch already, just one-shotting everything. With that nice base 93 attack, that's really good this early on in the game. Once again, I do feel like personally Emboar falls off with his speed and stuff like that, but he's really good in this early game. All right, that little side quest taken care of. We can now continue back and go on that south route. We get 3 free heal balls. I'll take it. Free Pokeballs are honestly fantastic when you are a new player in PokeMMO. It's one of the most important resources, man. Catching Pokemon to sell off for profit is what you want to be able to do as a new player in PokeMMO. It has not been financially as lucrative, unfortunately, over the past year or so, maybe year or two, to catch Pokemon for profit, but it's still a really good from scratch method. If you happen to not know, any Pokemon with a 31 stat in PokeMMO has some sort of value, especially if it's in a good age group and has a good gender. So, for example, a monster male age group Pokemon with 31 HP, it's a lot cheaper than it has been in the past, unfortunately. It's not worth as much as it used to be, but you can still sell these for around 4,000 or 5,000 Pokeyen. You know, you catch about 20 of those in an hour, and all of a sudden you're making about 100,000 Pokeyen per hour. That's huge as a new player. The fact that Arm Thrust hits multiple times is also fucking huge against a lot of mons like this that might have Sturdy. Now, this Rock and Roller didn't have Sturdy, to be fair, but there's a lot of Sturdy Pokemon in the PokeMMO storylines, as well as Focus Sash users. So double hit moves or things that hit multiple times, like Icicle Spear Cloyster is one you'll see a ton. But here we are, heading over to the next city. A little over 1 hour played. We are almost at 10,000 Pokeyen, and we're making our way over to Nacrene City. Now we're going to heal up really quick and immediately go try to take on the gym leader, where we should go ahead and get interrupted by N. Oof, with a little bit of poor play, down goes my Pignite, excuse me, against this Pidove. My Pokemon are much weaker against the rest of N's Pokemon. I might wipe here. I just got a little distracted, a little too lazy, and didn't focus, but I don't have any revives. Yeah, I'm probably cooked here. I should have used a fresh water. I was low HP, but I was faster, and I got quick attacked, and I just didn't factor it in. It was a still death. All right, and when this situation arises, all you can do is just try to rush through the battle and let yourself wipe. Let yourself wipe as soon as possible, as you can get back into that fight and waste as little time as possible. Thankfully, we did enter the Nacrene PC. If we didn't enter the Nacrene PC yet, we would have been sent all the way back to the last city we were at over in Striation. That would have been a nightmare time loss, but thankfully, we entered the PC. We can go refight N again, and I should be able to win this time for sure. I might need to use a potion at some point in the battle, and that's okay. Yeah, so we did just get crit here by the air cutter. I'm going to go ahead and use my fresh water here. It's a little unfortunate. I'd love to keep that nice big heal for later on, but I think it's super important. I don't want to get hit by a quick attack, but do we just get crit again? Back-to-back crits on the air cutter. I'm going to okay, I just have to just hope here, I guess, that quick attack won't kill me, which I don't think it will. Man, this end fight turning into a tough situation. We still have our gym leader fight. That's a level 13 Pidove putting up a fight against my level 20 Pignite. Do not let anybody ever tell you the PokeMMO storylines are easy. They just aren't, man. These are tough fights, no matter how many hours you have. No matter how much preparation. I'm probably going to get killed here. I live barely at 21, around 4%, 2 HP. We should be good here. There is N taken care of. Your first storyline is always the most difficult as well. If you get your first storyline done, you can go prepare yourself, Gyarados, Crocodiles, you know, those strong Pokemon for your next storylines. You can EV train, you can XP train. Your first storyline is the hardest. Don't let it, you know, that's a good thing to keep in mind as well. Once you get your first storyline done, all the other ones should be so much easier if you take the time to prepare Pokemon for them before you jump into those regions. You don't have to use the mons provided in those regions to complete them. You can prepare Pokemon ahead of time, level them up to 20, and then just pull them out of your PC in those future regions. But after healing up, we're going to head inside and try to take on the gym leader. We also should get another fresh water, if I recall correctly. You should get one before every single gym, so getting that back, yeah, that's huge. All right, and there's all the trainers before the gym leader defeated and all the books read. If you ever get lost in this puzzle, I always forget the order of this puzzle. You just go left column upwards to right column upwards. So you go from the bottom left bookshelf up to the middle bookshelf, up to this one, and then back down to the right column to this one, then to this one. It's actually really simple. You just go up the left side and then go up the right side. That's it. Now let's head back inside here. I'm going to go ahead and pop my one little baby potion that I do have on my Pignite, just get that HP up to 100%. And here is potentially our second gym badge in an hour and 15 minutes, I believe. It took us a long time to get that first gym badge, but once you get rolling in Unova and get past a lot of that early game, you really do get rolling. I'm really excited to see how fast, how far I can get in this region in just 4 hours. Here's an arm thrust into this Audino, probably taking it out or doing a lot of... Ooh, only 49%. We only hit 2 times. We only hit 2 times, and this Pokemon is very tanky. We want to watch out for Retaliate here. That is this gym's signature move, but you can actually fully play around it. I'm going to show you how we do that. I'm going to tackle here instead of Flame Charge, and I'm going to show you why. The scariest thing about this gym is that Retaliate attack. The way that Retaliate works is that if a Pokemon switches in after a Pokemon of yours was just killed and then uses Retaliate, it does a lot more damage. So if you just switch to a Sacrifice switch on that boosted Retaliate damage, you just dodged the entire, like, you know, the entire powerful thing of this gym. So if you have enough Sacrifice switches for each Retaliate when fighting this trainer, it's an absolute cakewalk. And I maybe could have popped a... I got crit, unfortunately. That's unlucky, but we still kill the Watchog there. We get a crit in return, I guess. This makes things a little bit more tricky. I'm probably going to have to get a heal off on my... Use that fresh water, get a heal off on my Pignite with one of my Pokemon in the back. So we're going to first things first, Sacrifice switch into the Retaliate, and then bring in our Grass Monkey and go for that. Do we even need to, actually, though? It's a little... Part of me wants to risk it. There's the Retaliate. I think this thing's going to outspeed me. So I'm gonna make the safe play, go to my Pansage, use this fresh water on my Pignite, and this will be a guaranteed win against this gym. Goes for that big aerial ace, almost killing the Pansage. I'm probably going to get outsped and killed here, but that's okay. That's what we want to happen. Now I can bring to my Emboar, go for that arm thrust. As long as he can't kill me from 60%, which I don't think he should be able to do. My heart jumped a little bit there. I don't actually one-shot, but I do outspeed. Okay, we should be good. We should be good. I do outspeed. So yeah, even though I outsped, I wouldn't have been able to kill last time. There we go. That is our second gym badge on the account. Ooh, we do get rollout access on our Emboar. Not a move we want to use a ton, but I'm going to... Ooh, do I want to go it over the tackle? It's a weird move. It does power up over time. Having that rock coverage can really come in handy, honestly. It's a little funky for the storyline. I don't love rollout, but I think I'd rather have it over tackle, to be honest with you. And we do get the basic badge. There it is. Call me basic. We got it, fellas. Level 27 is our new max obedience level as well. This is a beautiful animation. I love seeing this in Unova. We do get a Retaliate TM. And we head outside the gym only to see Team Plasma getting away with their normal shenanigans, stealing a Dragon Head. We're going to have to chase them down and continue the storyline. Alright, I also took a quick minute to go ahead and battle some of the trainers in this little patch before Pinwheel Forest, before we head over there, but I want to be careful not to start over-leveling my Pokemon and reaching that cap. I'm at level 24 on the Pignite. My max is level 27. I don't want to waste any XP. I'd love to also try to catch this Timber. Talk about a powerful Pokemon. Conkeldurr can be an absolute beast in the storyline. If I could catch myself a decent one here, I'll even try to heal ball it, have a slightly increased catch rate over Pokeball, and then if I catch it, it'll be healed in my party. I can just continue on and not waste any time heading back to the PC to go heal up, and that's exactly what I wanted. Perfect. Heal balls are good in the storylines, and then in Nuzlocke. Wait, did it not work? Wait a minute. Hello? Heal ball. A Pokemon eliminates any status. Hello? Is Heal Ball just bugged in PokeMMO? I've never heard anyone mention that. Huh. That's kind of goofy loofy, not gonna lie. Also, it's modest nature, so it's not exactly very usable. Anyways, off to the Pinwheel Forest we go. Almost 15,000 Pokeyen. We've been playing for about an hour and a half at this point. Deep inside the Pinwheel Forest we go with 2.5 hours on our clocks, just continuing on, chugging along the storyline. It is fucked up. This part is, at least for me personally, everybody's different. This part has been so much easier than that walk itself. And I guess the beauty of it is because I've put so many hours into PokeMMO. If I can grind, I can shiny hunt, I can play a ton of video games. If I can do that, why can't I put those hours into walking? Why can't I put those into the gym, you know? I think that's the beauty of this series is, yes, at the start of it, the walking is hard and the gaming part is easy. But by the end, I doubt it's going to flip or anything like that. But if the walking and the health and the exercise becomes a little bit easier, I will have succeeded, in my opinion, in this challenge. I think sometimes due to social media and just being online, we think that we need to get ripped, and if we're gonna exercise, you gotta go out all out and all these things, and that's just not it, man. Most of us just gotta walk like 30 minutes a day, maybe an hour a day, and it's gonna take care of so much of our health upkeep. We get a free Moonstone and take care of a huge part of the storyline. Our Pignite is level 25. We have 2 gym badges. We get to finally carry on, and we get to head over to one of the coolest, maybe the coolest location. Well, the second coolest location after that new team tournament, Coliseum, but the second coolest location in all of PokeMMO, in my opinion. this massive bridge in Unova. I love it so much, man. I adore this location. If you've watched my content before, you probably know I record here a lot, a ton. I love recording intros here. It's one of the most beautiful visuals, in my opinion, of any Pokemon game ever. Let's just sit here and enjoy it together. All right, and into the big city we go. We're in Castelia City. Now, I believe it's either this dock or the one up here to the left a quick sec. We should be able to get ourselves a free elemental stone. Yes, from this NPC right here. I'm looking for the Pan Sage one. Let's go ahead and pick up that free leaf stone. Get some extra power on our team. Gonna heal up really quick. Go ahead and just use that leaf stone on my Pan Sage right now. Get that huge power upgrade and evolution. Its base attack goes from 53 all the way up to 98, which is a huge power upgrade, and 101 base speed. And now we want to head all the way over to the left, go try to enter the gym, and then do a little bit more Team Plasma work. Or then when you try to go into the gym, you'll have a few people run out and talk to you. You need to head over back to a middle pier within the city. I believe it should be this pier right here. There'll be a little bit of Team Plasma shenanigans going on. Then after that conversation, you head all the way back to the left again, and then go up north and left in this little alleyway. And we'll find ourselves battling some Team Plasma members. All right, but after beating up some pretty weak and basic Team Plasma members, we can just head right over to the gym. My Pig Knight should be able to carry me through this gym if I play it well enough. Welcome to the Castelia City Honey Emporium. All right, and here we are, our feet in front of the third gym. Dude, I'm excited to just take it on and get it taken care of. If you might have seen those little extra like Pokeyen things, that's from my custom strings. That's just like extra information when you're doing gym reruns on a main account. So just ignore that if you're a newer player. Nothing to see there. Just some extra information on how much Pokeyen you make on the reruns. But let's go ahead and flame charge this Whirlipede. We immediately get poisoned first turn. And it doesn't even kill. That's actually really bad. That's a 30% chance that I get that poison on the physical contact of the move from the Whirlipede. I think I am going to go ahead and sacrifice switch. I'd love to keep my speed boost, though. Maybe we just kill this first. I'm going to kill this first, use the flame charge, use the outspeed, take care of this Whirlipede, and then maybe sacrifice switch here in a quick sec. I do have at least one antidote in my bag. I don't know if I have a fresh water. I should have grabbed one from the start of the gym, but I might have forgotten. Here comes a Dwebble. Do I want to stay in here and try to roll out? I don't think so. I think it's better to I can get my speed boost back later on. I'd rather try to get some heals off on my main Pokemon. Like my Pig Knight should be able to take down this entire gym if I play this correctly. My Timber could come in and get a low kick off against like this Dwebble, though. That could put in a little bit of work, to be honest with you. Yeah, we do have an antidote. Am I out of potions entirely? I have an Oran Berry. I think I can use that. It only heals by 10 HP, unfortunately. I'm going to go for the antidote on my Pig Knight, go for another switch into something, like another, Patrat or whatever. I'm going to use the Oran Berry on this. That 10 HP might matter. We want every single advantage we can get here. There's the Oran Berry used. We get an extra 10 HP on our Pig. I'm going to go ahead and use the free switch to bring in my Timber here, so that it actually should tank this thing pretty well, and it should get a nice like low kick, or we'll go for the rock throw potentially here. If I miss, that'd be super unfortunate. Fin attack does not do too much damage. We're modest nature, which sucks, so our attack, we got really bad nature rolls on most of our wild caught Pokemon, but we're going to get some good chip damage off on this thing, and that's what really matters. If I can just get, I think this is fine. I think just getting good chip damage off on this thing that will allow me to bring in my Pig Knight and get a free flame charge off will be absolutely huge. My Spatak drops, that's irrelevant. I could arguably, I think Struggle Bug will hit my Simisage pretty hard, unfortunately, so I can't really go that safely here. Yeah, it's gonna hit me pretty hard. We're tanking well enough, though, installing a few turns, getting that chip. We do miss there, unfortunately. Oh, and I did just misclick focus energy. That's really unfortunate. It's gonna lose me a little bit of damage, but hopefully it doesn't matter. I just straight up misclicked. We should be fine still. It's getting a little dicey. All right, Pig Knight, come in here, big pig. Clean up this fight for me, king. I should be able to flame charge here. If that rock throw damage matters, I swear. I missed out on... I think it matters. I missed out on 17%. No, to be fair, it wouldn't have mattered. Does this kill me? It hit 5 times. That's so unlucky. It hit 5 times. I just flame charge again. He shouldn't have quick attack access. This is going to get tough. I should have spent some of my... I haven't spent any of my Pokeyen on potions either. I've been too focused on speeding through and not enough on, like, actually completing the, you know, the fights. Levandy comes in. I think I might wipe here, fellas. Oh, we do one shot. Is that a crit? That's a huge one shot. If we can one shot the last 2 mons, we are fine. Not even a crit. Just enough damage. I think it might be 4 times. It might be grass bug. It might be 4 times weak. We might be able to just barely squeeze this out. We hit our level cap as well. Oh, come on. One shot for sure. Nice. That was a tough fight. We needed every little inch there. Every little bit of, you know, sacrifice switch. That Oranberry. That Oranberry really mattered. I mean, I would have been at a little bit lower HP, like 7 HP to be fair. I think it mattered a fair bit. We'll take it, man. There is the victory. That is gym badge number 3. Our match to obedience captures up to level 31. And I believe we get a free struggle bug TM here as well. We are about 2 hours in. We've gotten 3 gym badges in those 2 hours. Pretty proud of that. All right, but we healed up really quick. Time to just go straight north and head on next to the next area. Now, this next area, Route 4, we can catch some really powerful Pokemon. Things like Sandile, Scraggy with Moxie. Some of the best Pokemon for storylines in all of PokeMMO up in this next region. And when you go ahead north enough, you do run into Bianca. We do have another rival fight to take care of, if I recall correct. And we lead into an Intimidate Pokemon, so once again, we can use our Sacrifice Switch to reset, bring back in our Pig Knight, and not have that -1 attack on our stat, which might matter a ton. If that -1 attack is the difference between whether or not we can one-shot this Pokemon, it's going to be a difference of whether or not we take like 20 to 40% chip damage. Unfortunately, we only hit 2 times out of the 5, get a little unlucky, and then also get crit in return. So our RNG throughout this storyline has not been good, to put it nicely. I'm going to use this last little bit of HP to go ahead and get a speed boost while I can. And we're going to get takedown access. I'm going to go ahead and learn that over the tail whip. Panpour is going to come in. This is a tough situation. I could be greedy and go for the takedown here and just hope that it kills. The problem is if that it doesn't, I lose the whole fight. It's just so risky. I'm going to try to sacrifice switch, bring in my Pansage or Simisage, live at least 1 attack and get a Vine Whip off. If we can just get off 1 Vine Whip, we should be good. We can clear it out with our Pig Knight. Are you kidding me? Flinched as well. No shot. Don't double flinch me. Don't do it. Okay. We get 1 Vine Whip off. We get some chip damage. 2 Vine Whips would have been way better, but that's okay. It could have been a lot worse. I think at that HP, we could... does Pig Knight go with takedown? I'm going to go my Timber just in case here. Play it a bit safer. Play it a bit slower. We'll go for the low kick. Chip damage water gun is 50%. I don't know if low kick will do that, but we don't need to do that much. We just have to put our Pig Knight in a situation to win. We'll get taken down here. Bring in our Pig Knight, go for that fat takedown. And then moment of truth. I'm really hoping this can take out the... I could also arm thrust. I think this will do more damage. Yes, it does take it down. Whew. You can wipe your sweat off the brow, or at least I can. Muna comes in. This should be an easy KO if I recall correctly. I'm going to flame charge here. We have stab. We do 70%. I don't think this thing's going to hit me too hard in return. Hopefully I don't get like psychicked or something. That could be... Okay, there it is. A Psy Beam. I think we live, I believe. This is getting scary though. I'm going to go for another flame charge. I'm hoping the last mon does not have quick attack access. If it is a Pidove or a Pidove evolution, it's probably going to have quick attack access. Then I probably lose. So Servine comes in. That should be... I don't think this has quick attack. We should be good. I should be able to flame charge this. Should be GG's. Beautiful. And this is why those percentages, having those battle damage percents really matters for a lot of these fights. Trying to plan and calculate things. There we go. I will have to go heal up really quick, which is going to take me a fair bit of time to run all the way south and then run all the way back north, unfortunately, but it's worth it. And since we're here and we just went ahead and healed up anyway and came all the way back, let's go ahead and pick up some items while we're at it. I really do want to save as much Pokeyen as possible to complete the real goals and the progress of the challenge. But sometimes buying a few things to help get through the storylines a bit quicker is just way more relevant than saving all of your Pokeyen. I'm going to go ahead and pick up 5 Great Balls. I'm going to pick up a few Hyper Potions, maybe 5 for now, as well as 2 Revives. And you know what? A few Super Repels as well to save some time will do wonders. I think having 1 of each little status heal, or at least 2, they're really cheap. 2 Antidotes, 2 Paralyze heals, 2 Awakenings. Want to have those on us just in case. Burn heals especially, they can reduce your damage. Ice heals as well. And then I always like having at least a handful of escape ropes on me. That was most of our Pokeyen, but you know what? That's okay. It's well worth. Those are all items you will always use throughout your Pokemon career, even after you finish all the storylines. All right, on to Route 4 we go. Once again, one of the most important routes, probably the single most important route in terms of catching good Pokemon for the storylines in all of PokeMMO. Now, we do have another rival fight immediately after our Bianca fight. That is, Univa's brutal about all the rival fights you have to do. I think Sharon might have just Are you kidding me with the crits? To be fair, it's a Razor Shell. It's a raised critical chance move. But yeah, I just got cooked by Sharon. My RNG throughout this storyline has been absolutely brutal. But hey, man, it is what it is. RNG evens out. Sometimes you get lucky. Sometimes you don't. And here is the final Pokemon being defeated. Here is the wipe itself. I don't know if I need to change a whole lot about how this fight went. I think it just got away from me. I think the strategy is the same. The strategy's fine. Let's just run all the way back up north and try it again. All right, but here we go for attempt number 2 against the Sharon fight. Once again, my strategy was solid. Maybe a few more sacrifice switches. Maybe even just utilizing my health potions, like my hyper potions I just bought a little bit more aggressively. Now, the Duat lead into my Pignite is a bit frustrating, but I think our strategy still stays the same. I'm going to sacrifice switch to Lillipup, bring in our Simisage, and try to get a Vine Whip off to get some chip damage. We do live just barely at 8% HP, and we do get a Vine Whip off. We get 30% chip damage, and I know this time that I already outspeed with Pignite. I don't need to go for a Flame Charge, so... But I also know that Takedown could miss, number 1, with 50%, chance to miss, as well as I don't think it kills. I don't think Flame Charge or Takedown ever kills here is the really scary thing. So this is just tough. There's not really a great play here regardless. I let this go down. I think I just let this go down, go to my Pignite, click Flame Charge, and then I should be fine. I guess because I didn't lead against what's it called, the Liepard, maybe that puts me in the winning position. We go for the Flame Charge, get our speed boost. He goes to 70% HP off a Citrus Berry though. The Razor Shell doesn't crit, just 53%. Let's see, actually 53%. Like, I don't know if Takedown kills here. I might lose again. I'm gonna go for it. We don't kill there. There's not a whole lot of skill gap here. It's just my Pokemon don't match up. I could use a Revive here to make sure I can take on this fight. And you know what? I think it's worth it. I know we just spent all this Pokeyen. It hurts because I just spent all this Pokeyen on these items. I don't want to use them this quickly, but we're about to unlock our 4th gym badge. I think it's fine. I think it's more valuable to just make sure we can carry on, save some of our time, and keep going forward. And before I bring in that Pignite to, do a Flame Charge and finish this thing off, we're also going to use one of those. Those 5 Hyper Potions, those are fine. Those are much cheaper. Those Revives are like 3K a piece. They're pretty expensive. But this should for sure put me in a winning position. A nice Flame Charge to kill this thing, as well as get a speed boost for the other 4 Pokemon. This is why just not being afraid and buying those items early on is so important. In comes Tranquil. I'm probably going to go for... I don't think I ever want to click Rollout here. I'm not really liking the Rollout, I'm not going to lie, on this Pokemon. I'm just going to go for the Flame Charge. We get more speed boosts. Not that it super matters. We'll 2-shot this thing. Air Cutter only does 25%. We have Hyper Potions at the back. We're looking good. We take down a nice Pansear that comes in and 1-shots it. And then I believe Liepard is 4 times weak to our Arm Thrust since it is normal Dark type. So that's going to obliterate the dumb little cat. See you later. We got really unlucky in our first fight and only hit it 2 times. So if we hit the minimum amount, so if we hit it any more than that, we always 1-shot there, which is nice. There we go. There's Sharon taken care of. And because our Pignite still has some of its HP, we can actually probably just continue on this route without going down and healing. So if we just weave our way around and head up north, I'm at the point where I am dodging trainers because I'm kind of at my max obedience level, and I'm going to look to start buying some Pokemon here pretty soon. We're going to keep heading north. We're going to make our way over to, Nimbasa City here in just a split second. Got to talk to more dialogue, of course. We do get 10 free Ultra Balls. Then on to Nimbasa City we go. We can go ahead and protect this guy from Team Plasma, and after we protect him, we'll actually gain access to his daycare afterwards. That'll be relevant for breeding any Pokemon up in the future. We beat them up, make them get out of here, and I believe we also get our bicycle here, which that might be secretly the best upgrade of all. That is going to save us so much time. First things first, mark our location in Nimbasa City, head inside and heal up. Next up, head up north and then west over to this house right here. Head inside, talk to this NPC, and you'll get the Strength HM. Now, we have a pretty big end fight coming up over here once we head to the east, and I don't know how close we're going to be to beating this. I don't know how difficult this is going to be. This is actually a pretty tough one because it's also kind of similar to the speech one towards the beginning. He's going to take us on this Ferris wheel ride, and then if we lose the fight, we have to redo this whole Ferris wheel cutscene, which wastes so much time. So hopefully we can beat him after this on first try. All right, the beginning of the end fight going pretty well. Just one shot the Sandile. Strong start. Heat Crash being a potentially learnable move. I believe this does more damage based on, yeah, if the user outweighs the target. How heavy, how thick are you, Pig Knight? Only 122 pounds. You gotta you gotta stop walking, bro. You're getting too thin. I am not going to learn this move personally. I know Embor probably gets a bit heavier, but I feel like Flame Charge, probably just better options with Flame Charge and stuff like that. I'm scared to click rollout every time. I'm just going to click Flame Charge here instead. Psybeam's going to do a fair bit to me. Stab, plus I'm weak to it because I'm fighting, of course. Flame Charge doing 48%. That's going to make me outspeed it here on this next attack. Maybe now is the time where I go for rollout once again. The scary thing with rollout is that you have to, it goes for, what does it say, over 5 turns. That's a lot of turns to be locked in to like a move you may not want to be. That's the real problem there. Well, let's do a little bit of calculation. So stab boosts the power of things by 50%. So stab flame charge is like essentially 75 base power. Takedown is 90. So takedown's actually doing more damage than my flame charge. But if I miss it, it's doing no damage comparatively. So, that sucks. That's okay. I became confused. Just kidding. That's much less okay. Are you kidding me? I'm going to Hyper Potion here. Hope that I can hit through my confusion. Go for a takedown. This is not looking good. I could have switched out here to get rid of my confusion. I thought about it. The problem is that it also gets rid of my speed boost. I'm going to die. Are you okay? My luck on this storyline run has been fucking abysmal. I'm going to blame it on that and definitely not skill gap. I think we wipe here. I could revive. I'd really like to keep a revive, or at least have some Pokeyen left for the GTL when I unlock it here after this 4th gym badge. This is a shitty fight. This sucks. I don't think I'm close enough to beating this either. I'm just going to go ahead and tank the wipe. I'm going to go try to catch myself one quick Pokemon down on Route 4 before trying that end fight again, because losing that fight repeatedly is going to cost me a lot of time. And my Pig Knight's already at max level, so it's not like I can like XP train here, you know, and get closer to fighting it. Like maybe my Tembor or my Simisage, that's gonna cost me way too much time. Ooh, this Wild Sandile does have Moxie. We figured that out. That's actually huge. That is by far the best ability when it comes to playing PokeMMO storylines. Moxie is just incredibly powerful. Would love to have one of these on my team. Now, Sandile is decently weak, but once he evolves into Krokorok and eventually Krookodile, he becomes a powerhouse. Krookodile can unironically take on the entire Unova Elite Four on his own. It's just ridiculous what this Pokemon can end up doing. Let's take him, go heal up, and try again. All right, here's the end fight, attempt number 2. All right, here we are on attempt number 2. Now, I know for certain that I can just one-shot this Sandile, so let's just go ahead and do that. Just kidding. It is a roll. Are you kidding me? My luck cannot stop being shit on this run. I hit the minimum amount of times. This move can hit 2 to 5 times. Dude, I want to go on a walk after this. I want to go on an extra walk after this storyline run just to fucking walk off the frustration. Are you kidding me? That's just... It's just silly, man. How do we even fix this? We just try to go to something else and like Hyper Potion up now? That is brutal. All right, Sigilyph comes in. I know that it can one-shot me here. I also know that it's probably going for a Psychic type attack, so we can abuse that, swap to our Dark type, and pressure it out with that Sandile catch we just got. It's kind of perfect. I would have loved to chip this thing's HP a bit before that, but there we go. We get a free switch because of that information. Now, we're also very likely to be slower than this Pokemon, so I'm probably going to go ahead and go for an Assurance. I could also go for a Scary Face, lowering its speed stat. I do kind of like that. It one-shots me. That sucks. That sucks a lot of things. Okay, well, our best chance now is to... That free switch was useless. Let's just go back over tier and put a Hyper Potion into our Pig Knight. What a tough fight, man. This Sigilyph is just a monster. My best strat to take care of it is go for a flame charge into a takedown. Unless I miss the takedown, did it just crit a side beam? Are you fucking kidding me? I can't. You could not write this any. I just crit the flame charge back, to be fair. I believe. No, I didn't. That's just okay. What is happening? That's okay. I'm gonna flame. I should be able to outspeed. We should be fine. I did 78. How did I do 78% on that flame? I'm in blaze range. Sigilyph, thank you. Thank you. Actually, Sigilyph, you're actually perfectly planned. This is what I wanted all along, guys. I'm terrible. That's why I'm bad at speedruns for like storylines. I'm terrible at remembering blaze range and that ability. I just always forget that matters at all in this Pokemon. I'm going to go for the takedown here. Yes, I'll be taking, I could arm thrust and probably kill. Well, Darumaka is going to do a ton of damage. This thing is going to hit. Don't sleep on this Pokemon. This thing has insane damage. I'm going to go for the takedown. We don't kill. That is really unfortunate. I might die here. I could revive. I could revive and probably win this, but then I'm out of revives for the electric gym. This is a brutal fight, man. Oh my goodness. This being the stopgap. I'm going to go for the play. I'm going to go for the revive into the, it hurts to use this, but it's worth it. We got to beat these fights, man, these tough fights. Do not let anybody ever tell you the PokeMMO storyline is easy. It is if you prepare for it. It is if you have a Icicle Spear Cloyster. It is if you have a Dragon Dance Gyarados. If you are playing your first region, if you are a new player, if you have limited resources, these storylines are tough. All right, now we can bring in our Pignite. We should be able to go for a Flame Charge here, get our speed boost, and then this should KO. Yeah, it does KO, thankfully. We get our speed boost. I'm curious if Blaze Flame Charge previously, when not very effective, would have done enough damage. I doubt it would have killed it over takedown, but I could be wrong. Scraggy comes in. We should be good. Arm Thrust is going to do really good damage. We have stab. Don't hit 2 times. Please hit more than 2. Okay, it at least hit 3. I'll take that. If I hit 3 times and I can't kill it, that's at least, that's on me. I'll throw up the Flame Charge. This should be GG's. We used our last revive. I'm going to buy another one before jumping into this electric gym. And then Zorua comes in as the final Pokemon. I'm going to throw up the Arm Thrust and smack that fella out of here. See you later. Beautiful. And through the Citrus Berry. All right, dude. A really tough fight. But we got it taken care of. There is N defeated. Let's go heal up. And I'm going to heal up. I'm going to buy a revive. And I'm going to try to take on the Nimbasa City gym. This is the most important gym, the most important stopgap over your entire career in PokeMMO. And I'm not being dramatic. Like, your 4th gym in your first region is literally the biggest unlock you could possibly get. It's unlocking access to the GTL, the market, being able to buy a bunch of really good Pokemon for cheap and crush the rest of the storyline. Inside the gym we go. I went ahead and grabbed my free fresh water. I also did forget to buy my revive, so I'm going to go back and get that before we jump into this. Actually, you know what? I'm probably going to have to head back to the PC anyway to heal, so let's fight as many people as we can in the gym itself first. This wasn't intended to be a storyline guide, and it's still not, because I'm not really telling you guys, oh yeah, go left, go west, head here. It's really meant to be a guide for new players who want to get into PokeMMO while also having this health challenge attached to it. So I do hope, if you guys are a new player to PokeMMO, some of these tips, and also just seeing me lose, like seeing a player with over 10,000 hours in this game still lose 4 times or so up until this point throughout the storyline, I want you guys to know, like, don't be ashamed. Don't feel embarrassed. The storylines are freaking hard. You're gonna lose. It is okay. You're doing a great job, and you just got to keep going and not give up. That's the only way you lose in PokeMMO most of the time, is if you give up. Rollout is kind of blasting through this Emolga. I like to see some actual value out of that move. It's cool to see. This might be the gym. This might be the look. Did that just kill me? Are you serious? That crit? That did so much damage. Do I lose? Flying Gem Air Slash? I think I lose. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to beat this gym. I might need to get a more powerful Pokemon before I can actually. I'm losing to a trainer before the gym. Yeah, I might wipe here to a trainer before the gym. I really wanted to speed through the storyline as quickly as possible, but I might need to go take some time to just level up some of my Pokemon. I've been trying to be greedy up until this point, and the big pig is just not enough to push through all of this. At least not without, like, X items or other things. Yeah, here's like the 5th wipe or so for those who wanted to see it. Let's go ahead and use this time to go ahead and buy an extra revive, and I'm going to head down south, down to Route 4, or honestly, what I might do is head up northeast and fight some of the trainers up here. I'm going to lead with my Sandile and then switch down to my Pignite, fight a bunch of these trainers, and get some free XP. It's going to eat into our time, but I think it's something we kind of have to do. I don't see another way to beat this gym leader. I do think if you just spend about 1 hour, like maybe 1 to 2 hours during your first storyline doing some XP training, you will never need to XP train ever again throughout the rest of the story. All you really need to do is 1 to 2 hours, and you'll be set for the whole story. So I'm XP training up my Sandile to be able to take on this gym, and I can do something here. I can go ahead and catch this Minccino. It's level 22. I can put it in my party over one of my like Lily Pups or my Patrats. You know, it's much higher level Pokemon. Will give me some sort of utility against the Nimbasa gym, as well as I'll get the XP. The fact that you get XP from catching still is so good in PokeMMO. So now I have an upgraded Pokemon, and my Sandile is getting XP along the way. It does take so long to get that level up on him, which is a little rough. I'm gonna go grab this free Pokeball. I'm just doing whatever I can, using my time as wisely as I can. There's a rare candy. I will take that. I'll probably end up using that. Once again, this is a short-term challenge. It's a short-term challenge meant to show people how to set their account up for the long term, for long-term progress, because Pokemon is a marathon, not a sprint. You want to be building your account for the long future. All right, after XP training a little bit over to that northeast area, I got my Sandile up to level 21, and then I'm gonna hope that's enough. We have that Minccino now, level 22. I'm hoping this will give us enough to be able to push through. At least defeat some of these trainers within this area, and level up my Mons along that pathway as well. It'll get us more set up for the future. Once again, I really just need to beat this gym leader, and once I do that, we're in the clear. And I got flinched by an air slash. Are you kidding me? I'm at the point where this level of RNG, it's a flying gem air slash that does massive damage. Maybe I guess the one skill based thing, I should be switching my Mons around. I think I wipe again. I either wipe again here, or that's really frustrating. It's really frustrating. I think I need to be leading my weaker Mons, or just sacrifice switching and wasting their gems. And that's like the best way to take on this fight. But this is just, it's an uphill battle. So the U-turn did put my Sandile down to about 1% HP. I'm actually going to stay in here. It might U-turn as well, but that's okay. Or I could just go ahead. Let's go ahead and potion, actually. Even though I think... Ooh, I'm at 1 hyper potion. Do I hyper potion and try to take this fight back into my hands? I think I do. Because I think if I do this, I for sure win this fight. So I'm going to think that it's worth it. And if Aerial Ace eats up another flying gem of some kind, that'd be amazing. But I should be able to come in here and just go for it. As long as I don't flinch again... I should be able to flame... Okay, there's no air slash, it's aerial ace. That's beautiful. I should be able to flame charge here, become faster, and then... Oh, no, I don't think I actually have it because the other one's still 100% HP. Are you kidding me? Because the problem is, I could roll out here. I think I have to roll out, let my rollout charge up. If this air slash comes in... No, it shouldn't kill me because it shouldn't have air gem, flying gem boost. Okay, so we should be good. My Pig Knight should be able to win off. There we go. Man, that was way harder than it should have been, but you know what? We got it done. I thought the Pig Knight would do enough work here, but honestly, the fact that it's fighting type is really causing problems with being weak to those air slashes. I could go back and heal up, or I could just try to continue on the path and just die to a trainer. I think it's better to honestly risk that slowly enough. So here's trainer number 2 on the way to the gym leader. Blitzel is the only Pokemon this guy has. This should be, I think I should be able to win this, hopefully. I can flame charge and then go for just one shot. Okay, so Emolgas were my problem. Got it. Nothing's been as hard as the walking was so far, but this was getting close. All right, I'm going to go ahead and just jump into this gym leader fight. I think there's a large chance that I just go ahead and wipe here and don't actually win, but that's okay. Just getting some XP and some progress along the way, I'd be happy with. Joltik lead feels very, very good for me. I should be able to just flame charge here, get a boost, and one-shot this thing. Yeah, it's honestly like best case scenario positioning for me right here. I do have 1 revive, 0 hyper potions in the back, and 1 fresh water. If I could beat this here, I'd be really, really, really shocked. All right, in comes Zeb Strika. I'm not in blaze range. I think my highest damage dealing move here is takedown, if I'm not mistaken. The question is, am I okay with the recoil damage? Am I even fast enough? I might just want to go for a second flame charge. I kind of want to flame charge. My goal here might be to flame charge, tank and attack, get in blaze range. Stomp is fine. I'm totally okay with some stomp action. Flame charge. One more stomp will put me in blaze range, as long as it does not crit or anything. And I was not faster. That's why Zepstrika is so fast. I was like, I don't even know with +1 speed if I'm faster. I think I just flame charge again, even though I could takedown might just kill though now. I doubt it. We're doing 37. I'm gonna flame charge, let him put me in blaze range, and if I would love to fresh water at some point, but if I can just get in blaze range and be super fast, We might be able to sweep with that. You know, I don't think enough about Blaze range in the storyline runs. That's going to put me super low. Quick attack might take me at, well, I don't know if it will actually. I probably can outspeed this Amoldra in Blaze range. I'm going to go for the Flame Charge. We do 87, almost KO it. I think with a revive, I might be able to win this. I think with a revive, the paralyze is unfortunate, but we should be fine. Because I'm going to die anyway, yeah. I think with one revive into the Big Knight, followed up by a fresh water. The scary thing here is that if I lose after all of those resources, we're kind of cooked. But I think I'm going to go ahead and go for it. I'm going to take it really slow, but I think the play here is revive on Pig Knight. And then a super potion comes through, healing up the Amoldra. That is kind of terrifying, but we should hopefully be okay. I'm going to go for the fresh water on the Pig Knight here as well. Aerial Ace comes through, taking out the Semi-Sage as expected. My Pig Knight's not even full HP. Are you kidding me? That's terrifying. I really don't want to bring Pig Knight into this. It just does so much damage. I think it's better to go like... I have to go Timber and just die and hope I get a rock throw off, or go Minccino. Minccino and Sing, or Minccino and just go for... This is really tough. Maybe Charm, actually. This thing is Aerial Ace. Does it also have Air Slash is my concern? It has a Vault. No, Zepstrike has Vault Switch. I want to go Timber here and go for a rock throw. I have no more potions or no more healing items, so I can't even like use this in the future for that. Yeah, if it gets one shot by Aerial Ace, it gets one shot by Aerial Ace. I can't really do a whole lot about that. I don't like singing here because it's so freaking risky. I think I just go into Minccino and I either go for just some sort of chip damage. I either go Double Slap. What's my ability? I either go Double Slap here, Swift, or Charm. Charm severely lowering its attack. I kind of like the idea of Charm, but I'm scared that Vault Switch, if this thing has Vault Switch, it'll do a lot of damage to me anyway. I think the guaranteed damage is my best option. Let's check base attack versus special attack. The attack is slightly higher. I'm gonna go Swift. We should live. We do barely live this attack. We're gonna get a Double Slap off. That's huge. And the Charm would have been irrelevant. I guess the Charm would have been on the second Amoldra. I would love to waste... Are you kidding me? The static... I've got static procced twice in 2 chances. I guess Double Slap might hit multiple times in a way that you have the 30% chance to paralyze every time. So that might be what happened there. I'm just going to click Swift here, but I'm probably dead. Yeah. I think we lose, unfortunately, but I'm going to try my best here. Blaze range could come up. Potentially roll out, like charging up, but I really don't want to if possible. Zebstrika is going to outspeed. This is actually good for me. Because it goes for either Vault Switch or... This is actually really good for me. This is actually really good for me. I don't think it puts me in Blaze range. I don't think. 48. Blaze range is like below 33%. I don't think I'm in Blaze range. But I get a speed boost here. Are you kidding me? What the okay. My RNG in this run is horse shit. You can only do so much. You can only do so much. That's insane. That's unbelievable. If I can beat 4 gym badges with this RNG, I promise you can do it too. Holy guacamole. And I don't have a sacrifice switch to like paralyze heal. Do I even try to paralyze heal this? Do I just try to go for the flame charge? I think my only chance of victory here, I think I'm just dead. I don't think there is a chance of victory. I think I just click this and die. Maybe I get a speed boost. Like the speed boost counterweighs my para to some extent, but not as much as just para healing. If I get full paralyzed ever, I'm dead. I'm in Blaze range. My hope is to like Blaze range crit here and hope that I'm faster, and I'm not. That's just piss poor dog shit luck. It is what it is. We just head back to the lab and keep cooking. I'm gonna head back down south. Probably end up replacing some of my Pokemon with some higher level mons down here. Let's go grab ourselves a Darumaka and stuff. It sucks that I'm wasting time like this. Honestly, I'm frustrated that I'm wasting time like this, but at the end of the day, what does wasting time like this cost me? It cost me some time, sure. It's also going to gain me more exercise. Oh no, don't make me walk more. Don't make me get healthier, which is the point of the series. Oh no. Oh, always me. So bad. I'm just running around to different areas, doing XP training here and there. Picked up some black glasses over here. Honestly, any sort of held items right now, that is going to go long against the gym leader. Get that extra 20% boosted damage on dark type moves with my Sandile. It's also with stab as well. That'll be a nice damage boost. I really do need to raise his survivability if possible. I'm trying to get some XP on this Sandile, but it is tough in the storylines when you don't have access to a sweet scent Pokemon. You know, times I have horrors, once again, not having access to the GTL quite yet. That first region 4 gym badge barrier is just so big, but once you make it over, things will be so much easier. We're also getting our Pokeyen stack back up, and that's really nice to see. I've caught a few Darumaka's, a Darumaka here, a Scraggy there. None of them have just turned out that good. This one's the best one, and it's a Rash, but it has 25 plus attack, so it's something. I think I'm going to go ahead and head back to the city, heal up, and try to take on the gym leader once more. All right, we are back at the gym leader for attempt number 2. I'm feeling pretty good. I bought some more potions, 5 hyper potions, and then 2 revives. If it takes everything that I have to beat this gym leader, it would have been well worth it. Honestly, I know it's really early game. I don't recommend using rare candies like this, especially like on a normal account, but this is like more of a short-term challenge. I'm going to go ahead and use this rare candy on my Sandile here. I really just want to be able to beat this trainer. If we can beat her, we unlock everything else. I'm going to keep in mind, I'm going to lead the Pig Knight, but I'm going to go ahead and look to like sacrifice switch over something in the back, like a Patrat. I probably could have brought a different Pokemon. I actually did forget that I caught some other Mons. Should have brought those, but that's okay. Zebstrika does not have a gem from what we've seen. I think I actually should be good to just go ahead and click Flame Charge here. Stop. This is actually the best case scenario. Unless I flinch, I can't keep saying it over and over again. My RNG has been very, very bad on this run. It is what it is. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. And right now, it's not very good, and that's okay. Emulger comes in. This thing will destroy me, and I don't think... This is actually a tough speed calculation. I don't think Pig Knight is fast enough. Let's go check my base speed. I'm 55 with +1 speed. I do not think I'm fast enough to outspeed this Emulger. It really matters a lot here. If I could go for the outspeed, it's huge. So many levels, but if I don't outspeed, I'm pretty sure this thing just kills me. Is the really, really scary thing. I'm gonna make the safer play and switch over to Patrat here, hopefully on a Air Slash with Flying Gem. Aerial Ace is fine. I don't know if it has Gem. So there's like a physical and a special Emulga. I'm gonna now head over to my Simisage. We're just kind of sacrificing here. Head over to my Simisage and go for a potion. I'd like to potion while I can and not have to waste revives if possible on the pig. We're going to go for our potion while we can, get it back up to full. And then we can either... Is there any reason to even bring in... We've seen Aerial Ace. One of them might have Volt Switch, one might have U-Turn. Try to factor if I want to bring in my Sandile here or just go Pig Knight. I like the idea of just going Pig Knight here. I don't mind this. I should just kill as long as I live, which I should be able to live. We live. There's no crit. We get the kill. We go up +1 speed. We have a hyper potion in the back. We could get put into blaze range if he brings in. Yeah, if he goes for like a stomp here, we're going to be really close to blaze range. We don't outspeed yet. Don't flinch again, I swear. Are you kidding me? That is like I think flinch is like a 30% chance. I can't even... It's really unreal. I'm going to go for a flame charge again. I'll be in blaze range unless he crits me here. We should be fine. Volt Switch will put me very low. It'll put me in blaze range. We just keep fighting. We just keep fighting through the terrible RNG. It is what it is. We get a huge... So I should outspeed. I should outspeed here. I should be faster than the Emulga. Did that crit actually as well? That'd be fantastic. No, I did not crit. I'm going to go for the attack. I'm going to go for it. I should outspeed. Beautiful. At +2 speed, we outspeed. We're going to win this even though our RNG has been the worst it possibly could be. So we don't one-shot here. There's a question of... I think I just go ahead and Hyper Potion. It can never kill me. Yeah, we just Hyper Potion's super safe here. We stay +3 speed. He stomps. I don't care. I'm getting sick of your stomp. Takedown does more damage. Do we need to do that? I don't think so. Maybe we... Ooh. Flame Charge doing 37. It's going to be a long KO. I'm not in blaze range anymore. We outspeed. Volt. Okay, that's actually good for me. This is fine. And then Joltik, that was the last. The pretty sure the last mon just gets obliterated. So thankfully, yeah, the Joltik just gets obliterated. I could go for a rollout here if I want to be a little greedy and try. I don't think it's worth it though. I'm just gonna flame charge, one-shot the Joltik. All right, and then Zebstrika comes in. I'm gonna go ahead and just flame charge, and then I know I'm not gonna kill. Next turn, I should be able to live one attack. I should be fine. I should just kill in 2 hits essentially. I'll get put into blaze range here in a quick sec as well. We're max speed, Volt Switch. I get blaze procced right now. Here it is, boys. The most important gym badge in PokeMMO. Your 4th gym badge in your 1st region. The hardest one that will ever be to achieve. I lost way too many times here for having 10,000 hours Keck W. I know it's funny, but it is what it is. We got it done. That's all that matters. Whew. There is Elisa. Elisa defeated. Beautiful. Max obedience up to level 35. And more importantly, we gain access to the beautiful global trade link. We also get a Volt Switch TM, I believe, which is actually a very, very powerful TM. If I'm correct, yeah, that's a really, really good TM to grab. We have 34 minutes of time left. I'm going to go ahead and go heal up. I would like to buy some stuff off the GTL, but I'm pretty broke right now. I'm not going to worry about it quite yet. I should be able to head over to the next city, Driftveil City, without needing to buy stuff. So I'm just going to make some Pokeyen along the way while fighting trainers over to the next city. Looks like we have a rival fight, though. Ooh, if this rival fight turns out to be tough, we might need to buy something now. And we could get something that would be storyline crushing for under 5k. I bet you we could. But thankfully, we're against Lipard. This thing gets obliterated by Arm Thrust. All right, we did break our XP bubble as well on our Pig Knight. We're going to die here in a quick sec, but that's okay. Our Pig Knight was capped out. We had gained too much XP, but now we raised our thing. He just went right back up to the capped level 35, which is kind of hilarious. And since we didn't end up using any revives against Elisa, I'm going to go ahead and just use one here in this fight. All right, and here is that Sharon fight getting taken care of. We did pull out the victory somehow, thankfully, with one revive and one hyper potion. And more Unova yapping must continue. All right, but just continue on the storyline. We have 25 minutes left. Let's drop this drawbridge with another beautiful Unova animation. And now we're making our way over to Driftveil City. All right, and now I have something that might be considered good news, might be considered bad news. You might notice I actually paused my timer. You see, during the making of this video, I took a quick break and went out and did some grocery shopping with my wife for upcoming Thanksgiving. And this is what happened. I gained 2,000 more steps, so I can actually make another hour of progress today. I'm going to put it on my timer just in case I choose to do that, but we might be reaching the point of me not being able to do that. I'm an adult with some adult responsibilities. I spent like 2 hours today walking, like 2 hours doing grocery shopping, and now potentially 5 hours playing PokeMMO. I don't have enough time for that. I had to make some other videos today, do some other work. You know, I'm running low on like cutting out sleep or not spending time with my loved ones. I might have to make some decisions here. And it's funny, it's only the first episode of this challenge, but we're already starting to see the fact that playing the video game might be harder than getting in the steps and doing the physical activity of the walk. And if I can make that mental switch in my brain, that'd be really good for my body. And all right, it is definitely harder to find a good IV, like well-statted storyline Pokemon than it used to be. I'm not going to lie, which makes total sense. There's a ton of new players in PokeMMO all the time. My main two options, I have this Magikarp, which is 16 attack, 22 speed, level 31 for 8,000 Pokeyen. This one for 35. This one's better. It's only 18 attack, 17 speed, but it's got that, you know, adamant nature, which is what you're really looking for. It's pretty solid enough. I could just save my Pokeyen as well and try to save up for something a bit better, but this is really solid. My only problem with this Carp is that I wouldn't be able to use it until after the next gym badge, which kind of defeats the whole purpose. I do think I kind of really need something to be used next. But all right, I think I found the perfect candidate. You have to get a little creative and finagle your IVs and your prices around. So if you're willing to take a second and go ahead and do that, I pause the timer while I look through the GTL. You can see 10 speed IV is my lowest, 15 attack, level 32 minimum, level 34 maximum, and then naughty nature. So it took me a sec to find this, to be honest with you, but I found these two different Magikarps for 6k a piece. I can also, the beautiful thing here is I can buy this one and then sell it back later as a 31 defense breeder. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. That is our first GTL purchase on the account. Now, I will have to go ahead and level up the Magikarp once, and then it will turn into a Gyarados. That'll be a little bit of annoyance, but it's definitely well worth it. Shout out to Milech for selling me this Magikarp that I'll be using for this play. So I'm just going to go ahead and continue on the storyline, head down to the south, and go down to the little cold storage area. There's some Team Plasma stuff I have to do over here. I'd love to see you guys with this Magikarp evolution, hopefully a little bit before that and as soon as possible. I did just do a trainer fight where I swapped out the Magikarp back and forth to get some XP, and this is how much I got in one fight. This might be a lot harder than I expected, but you know what? It's worth it. That's why people buy the Gyaradoses instead of the Magikarps, but the Magikarps are much cheaper. Okay, also, I'm in the middle of my storyline, right? But there just so happens to be an Apom swarm over here. I don't know if there's any benefits to catching one of these. Aside from like Pokedex entry would be neat. I don't know if these are like high level. I kind of doubt it. Level 33. This could honestly be a good Pokemon. Let's go ahead and catch one of these swarms, fella. I think this is one of the cool elements as well, which makes PokeMMO unique. I love these like really interesting, cool, unique to PokeMMO mechanics. At least in a Generation 5 game, obviously in later gens, there are things like swarms around in the overworld. All right, it was a difficult catch, but we were able to catch one of these Apoms. I'm going to go replace like my Timber or actually my Darumaka with it. Let's see how it came out. Adamant Nature's really good. This might be the best storyline Pokemon on the account so far. The moveset's pretty terrible. Double Hit is the only relevant one, but Adamant and 20 plus attack, 30 speed, fantastic. I'm not gonna lie, a part of me is definitely wishing I held onto that rare candy for this Magikarp. That was a bit of a mistake, but you know what, it is what it is. Now I'm back up to 2,900 Pokeyen. I might actually be able to go buy one of the cheaper XP candies off the GTL. That is a newer item that like I am not used to doing storylines with. This has only been in the game for a period of time. Yes, I can actually, you know what? That's so worth it. I'm gonna buy an XP candy medium. I can go ahead and go use that on my carp. That will give it an evolution. That is perfect, man. That is a huge thing for new players, is the XP candies. That is such a valuable, amazing resource. They're pretty expensive. You want to avoid them if possible, but for the storyline runs, I think if you're stuck on levels, XP candies is probably one of your better options. We're gonna go ahead and learn Bite over Flail. I've never been a big fan of Flail, unfortunately, just not a fan of the move. And then Gyarados is gonna get really strong once it learns Dragon Dance, which should be level 36. So that'll be just after the once we beat the Driftveil City gym. Now, the only slight problem here is we don't have a water move on our Gyarados, and we don't have a great way to fix that because we don't have access to Waterfall yet. It has Water Pulse, but it's a special move, and Gyarados is obviously a physical attacker, so it's really ideal to have something like Waterfall or even Aqua Tail can work on him. We might end up having to relearn one of those moves with something like Heart Scales off the GTL, which will cost us, once again, some more Pokeyen. So let's just go ahead and try to continue on, earn some Pokeyen, and see how far we can get today. I paused the timer because I'm actually about to go on a little date night with my wife and go watch a movie with her at the theaters. I hope it's a lot of fun. We're watching Now You See Me, Now You Don't. I'll let you guys know my review on that because it's obviously very important in this video. And I'm really realizing I did bite off more than I could chew today. I walked way too many steps. This was a massive mistake. I'm really sore. And I really want to keep up. The whole point of the series is to do 5K steps a day. If I do 10K today and 0 tomorrow, that's not something I'm very proud of. It's not something I want to build a pattern, you know? That repetition is more important to me than the severity. I know that I have this habit of going back to the gym and then working out so much that I get so sore that I don't want to go back for a few days, and then I never build the repetition and the pattern of going to the gym. I'm going to try to break through that with the motivation of this episode, and thanks to you guys watching. You guys motivate me. This kind of series motivates me to get my health on track, and if it can do the same for you and we're vibing off each other and our energies are matching, that's all you can hope for in life. Now, I still have an hour on my clock. My time played says 5 hours, and I think I'm gonna have to go ahead and make an executive decision to go ahead and call it. You see, the point of this series is to teach that you can game responsibly while still keeping a somewhat physically healthy lifestyle. Maybe even a decently physically healthy lifestyle. So I'm going to stick to my guns and stick to the point of the series and go ahead and call it. And I will see you guys next time for more walking and more playing PokeMMO and more teaching you how to jump into the game in the year 2025 from Strat. We haven't completed a single goal yet. And you know what? That's the beauty of it. This game is a marathon, not a sprint, and it takes some serious time dedication. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this new creative series that I wanted to try out. Like it if you did enjoy it, dislike if not, and subscribe to the channel for daily PokeMMO videos every single day. I also stream on Twitch Monday through Thursday at 12 p.m. ET if you're interested in that. My Discord link is down below if you want to join a really cool community that loves this game. And if you want to go above and beyond and support the channel and allow content like this to come about, YouTube memberships, Twitch Primes, Twitch subs, and PayPal and Venmo donations really do go a very long way. Thanks for watching, but for now, I'll see you guys later. Peace, Reno. Yo, what's up? Patrouski here, and I wanted to take this time to say thank you to everyone who goes above and beyond and supports my channel. Your names are all listed here. You make it possible for me to make helpful and mildly entertaining content for the game that I love and make it available for free for everyone to enjoy. Thank you so much for allowing me to even be here.